Dick Van Dyke is more than a name in entertainment. He is a living emblem of joy, laughter, and the kind of warmth that transcends generations. For over 7 decades, he has reminded the world that humor is not just entertainment. It is a lifeline, a bridge, and a source of comfort. From the bright laughter of The Dick Van Dyke Show to the unforgettable songs and dance moves of Mary Poppins and Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, his energy has always been infectious, grounding, and uplifting. His smile, uncontainable and genuine, has never been mere charm. It has been a beacon, and his laughter has never been simple amusement. It has been healing. What makes Van Dyke extraordinary is not only his talent, but his ability to make audiences feel seen, understood, and lighter in spirit. A gift cultivated over a lifetime of curiosity, connection, and devotion to his craft. Early life. Nurturing the spark. Born in 1925 in Danville, Illinois, Dick Van Dyke came into a world that was still recovering from global conflict and the challenges of economic hardship. His early years were shaped by modest circumstances, yet they fostered a resilience and empathy that would become central to his life. His father, a traveling salesman, was rarely at home, while his mother balanced long hours as a stenographer to provide for the family. These early experiences taught Dick the value of perseverance and the subtle power of laughter, even when life demanded seriousness. At school, he found refuge in choir and drama, spaces where the shy boy could explore emotion, connect with others, and discover the joy of performance. Even as a child, his curiosity about people and their stories was evident, laying the foundation for a career rooted not only in skill, but in the ability to touch hearts. Finding his voice. The first steps. Van Dyke's journey as a performer began with small steps, perseverance, and a willingness to embrace uncertainty. In the late 1940s, he worked as a radio DJ at WDM, speaking into microphones with the hope that somewhere, someone was listening. These moments shaped his understanding that performance was more than entertainment. It was a dialogue, a way to reach beyond loneliness into shared human experience. Early on, he formed a comedy duo called Eric and Van, the Merry Mutes, performing in small clubs along the West Coast. These years were quiet but formative, a time when he honed the timing, rhythm, and warmth that would define his performances. Even during attempts to serve in the military as a pilot, Van Dyke's path led him instead to entertain troops through the Armed Forces Special Services, showing early that his gift for lifting spirits could flourish, even amid challenge. A slow climb. Building a career. Returning to civilian life, Van Dyke navigated a patchwork of local television gigs, small performances, and opportunities that required patience, skill, and an unwavering commitment to craft. Each appearance, each improvised segment, was part of a long apprenticeship, teaching him that success is rarely sudden, but earned through persistence. By the late 1950s, his work on stage culminated in the role of Albert Peterson in Broadway's Bye Bye Birdie. At 35, his performance earned a Tony Award, a moment that validated not just his talent, but the years of dedication, late nights, and quiet resilience. It was a turning point, signaling that the joy he had cultivated and shared quietly was finally being recognized on a national stage. That recognition, however, never changed the essence of his approach. Humor rooted in empathy, performance grounded in human connection. Television stardom, redefining comedy. The 1960s brought Van Dyke into living rooms across America with The Dick Van Dyke Show. As Rob Petrie, he demonstrated an extraordinary balance of humor and humanity, a man who was clever, vulnerable, and genuinely kind. Audiences laughed at his antics, yes, but they also felt a comforting sincerity in every gesture, every expression. Working alongside Mary Tyler Moore, he helped craft a television world where comedy was relatable, inclusive, and warm, offering reassurance during an era of social change. Viewers did not just watch, they felt invited into a home, a life, a shared rhythm of laughter that could soothe and uplift. His charm was authentic, never forced, a reflection of someone who had learned that the greatest joy comes from touching hearts, not just eliciting applause. Resilience behind the curtain. Even amid fame, Van Dyke's journey was one of quiet perseverance. Transitions between television and film, the search for meaningful roles, and the natural evolution of a long career brought both challenges and opportunities. Yet he met every turn with humility, grace, and a commitment to excellence. His generosity and warmth off-screen reflected the same values he brought to audiences: kindness, curiosity, and respect. Life's changes and personal milestones were met with integrity, and even as he aged gracefully in an industry that can be unforgiving, he maintained his dedication to craft, to connection, and to laughter as a lifelong practice. Enduring love and partnership. Van Dyke's personal life has mirrored the qualities he embodies professionally. His relationship with Arlene Silver, nurtured over decades, exemplifies companionship built on mutual respect, joy, and care. Their bond demonstrates that love, like performance, thrives when it is rooted in authenticity, attentiveness, and shared laughter. Beyond awards, accolades, and career milestones, this partnership highlights the sustaining power of human connection, proving that intimacy and mutual support can shine as brightly as any spotlight. In their shared life, joy is cultivated quietly, steadily, and intentionally, a mirror of the principles he has brought to his work for decades: health and longevity, living fully. As he nears a century of life, Van Dyke continues to prioritize wellness, independence, and vitality. Yoga, balanced nutrition, and daily rituals keep him active, while music and movement remain central to his days. He approaches life with gratitude, playfulness, and awareness, understanding that longevity is both physical and emotional. Aging, for him, is not a limitation, but a continuation of opportunity to move, to laugh, to nurture relationships, and to inspire those around him. His example reflects a philosophy that blends discipline, joy, and resilience, reminding the world that each day carries potential for fulfillment, creativity, and connection. Late career and legacy. Even in recent years, Van Dyke has continued to engage audiences meaningfully. Appearances on programs like The Masked Singer and collaborations with contemporary artists show that his relevance is timeless, that his ability to connect spans generations. His memoir, 100 Rules for Living to 100, promises to share lessons drawn from a life well lived, emphasizing endurance, kindness, humor, and empathy, rather than fame or spectacle. Awards, from Emmys to the Kennedy Center honors, underscore his achievements. Yet his truest legacy lies in the laughter, hope, and comfort he has gifted to countless individuals. His life demonstrates that performance is not merely about applause. It is about connection, understanding, and the quiet, enduring joy of shared experience. The measure of greatness. Dick Van Dyke's story is one of transformation, human connection, and resilience. From a shy boy in Danville to a beloved icon of television and film, he has reminded the world that humor is a bridge to understanding, that laughter is a reflection of experience, and that true greatness is measured by the impact one has on others' lives. His performances are timeless because they are rooted in empathy, warmth, and authenticity. He has taught audiences that joy is earned, shared, and most powerful when it lifts others. Watching him perform is not simply witnessing skill. It is witnessing a life lived fully, with generosity, curiosity, and an unyielding commitment to the beauty of human connection. A legacy of light. As Dick Van Dyke approaches a century of life, he remains a vibrant testament to the enduring power of joy. His career, relationships, and personal philosophy reflect a rare combination of humor, resilience, humility, and generosity. He continues to move, dance, and inspire, demonstrating that the human spirit can thrive across decades of change. Every smile he has offered, every laugh he has inspired, and every heart he has touched is a reminder that a life lived with joy, kindness, and connection leaves a lasting imprint. Dick Van Dyke did more than entertain. He made the world brighter, warmer, and more connected, and his story is a celebration of what it means to live fully, intentionally, and joyfully.